success on earth is not bound by men, but it is bound on the creator of this. You see the creator of this, you see this creation, and then you see the creator of this as well, who is God in heaven, that you don't literally see, but you see his works, and by that you kind of see, oh, whose handiworks is this, right? The same one who created this and created these plants right there, which no scientist can replicate and no engineer can even fathom to replicate. Not even with the most advanced AI we have. This same creator possesses all the power on earth. He's the most, you have to believe that this creator has all the power on earth and he has all the keys to all the wealth on earth, because everything belongs to him. You're not bound by anyone. Nobody can tell you how rich you're going to be, how poor you're going to be, what kind of income you're going to make. All the wealth and power belongs to God, right? So you should not limit yourself by anyone who you think your wealth is dependent upon. Well, okay, in a short term, God created the natural laws that, for example, you're a day worker, you work a day, you get paid for it, etc. For the short term, yeah, you get paid and stuff like that, but ultimately speaking, your wealth is not dependent on them. It's not dependent on it, it's just happening to be so right now. But in the ultimate power, God possesses the whole money on earth, right? So you can become a billionaire if you seek it from God, and if God grants that to you, right? If God grants it to you that you're going to be a billionaire, you're going to be a billionaire, and it doesn't matter what people think, you're going to be that. So you shouldn't. So what that means is that all the cancel culture bullshit, right, doesn't really affect you, because God, at the end of the day, is in charge of all the money on earth, and he possesses the powers of earth, and he can place you wherever you want to be, right, or wherever he wants you to be. You can ask him of possessions. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, the Prophet Muhammad, even though he lived a very humble life, right? He was not extravagant. He lived on a tiny little wooden mattress, right? Like, not even a mattress, like a wooden, something like a blanket almost, for most of his life, or for a huge part of his life, especially once he became the leader of the nation. He even lived more humble, right? So even though he had those characteristics, he was pretty minimalist in his application of how he lived his life. Even that's the case, he prayed against poverty, right? So what does that show you? It shows that the Prophet, first of all, peace and blessings be upon him, saw that poverty itself, yeah, it is a hard thing. Nobody wants to be tested with poverty, right? Because it limits you, etc. Well, we understand that God tests us, and some of us restricts our wealth to test if we're still loyal to God. And sometimes He wants to prevent us from committing bigger sins, etc. Or show us something, but yeah, we don't want to be poor, right? But all of that being said, God, there's also another lesson here. By making that by making that prayer, he is confirming the belief that God is in charge of wealth, right? By saying, "Oh God, protect me from poverty," you are confirming the power of God, that God is in all power of your wealth. And that is 2 lessons we have from this prayer the prophet did. So, all the power on earth belongs to God, and if God wants you to become rich, you're going to become rich. You have to seek it, you have to work hard for it, you have to pray about it, and then God can do it easily. You don't have to fear no man, you don't have to think that you're dependent on anyone, because you're not. You only depend on God, and God possesses wealth beyond your understanding. Now, God gave you a lot of tools and a lot of understanding how to deal with reality, and you should apply all of the measurements in your power, but God's grace and mercy and powerful nature of giving is even going beyond that. So even if you not fully use all of that, which you should use all of that, but even if you didn't, he can still bless you. And there are stories of a lot of people who became rich in their 60s and people who became rich in their 40s, etc. And I'm not talking about normal rich, I'm talking about top tier richest people of a wealthy nation, right? And that's it for the thought. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.